Kirn Review, print speaking to the blind, celebrating 40 years of audio newspaper production. Welcome to this week's edition of the Kirkintilloch Herald podcast, recorded at the Bishopbriggs Media Centre by our amazing volunteers. You can get in touch with us via Facebook, Twitter or Instagram using @QuenReview. That is @CuenDreview. You can also contact us directly by emailing information@QuenReview.com. That is INFORMATION @CuenDreview.com, or by calling 0141 772 3976. That's 0141 772 3976.
This week's podcast, as published on the 23rd of October 2024, is read to you by volunteers Alan, Corey, Ian, Jehan, Nikki and Philip. We hope you enjoy the podcast.
Climate Park Taking Shape, an article by Kevin McRoberts. New aerial images show work on a project to create East Dunbartonshire's first climate-ready park is progressing well. The work has been carried out at Woodhill and Etive Parks in Bishopbriggs. It is all part of a groundbreaking green infrastructure project which will incorporate food growing plus measures to improve biodiversity and protect against the effects of climate change. A comprehensive raft of measures includes the reshaping of areas of amenity grass to form gently sloped retention basin areas to temporarily hold surface water, including from the Bishopbriggs burn during extreme storm events. Roadside swales are being created on Menteith Avenue and Etive Crescent to manage surface water runoff from sloped open space areas to significantly minimise the impact of flooding in the vicinity. Plans include the creation of additional flower meadows and a dedicated food-growing space incorporating raised beds and decorative pergolas. Materials from the excavated basins have stayed on site, are being used to create a bike track. Speaking earlier this year, Councillor Paul Ferretti, convener of the Place, Neighbourhood and Corporate Assets Committee, said the project would significantly enhance this green space in the heart of Bishopbriggs. The plans will promote sustainability throughout the creation of space for food growing. The improvements will also enhance biodiversity in the area and improve resilience to protect against the effects of climate change into the future. And that article was written by Kevin McRoberts and read by me, Nikki.
This week in history. October 24th, 1964, Northern Rhodesia became the Republic of Zambia. On this day last year, astronomers revealed they had carried out the biggest ever computer simulations from the Big Bang to the present day to investigate how the universe evolved. October 25th, 1961, the first edition of Private Eye, the British satirical magazine, was published. On this day last year, a University of Bonn study suggested roosters may be able to recognise their own reflection. Other animals found to share this ability include elephants, dolphins and great apes. October 26, 1986, Geoffrey Archer resigned as Deputy Chairman of the Conservative Party after allegations that he had made a payment to a prostitute to avoid a scandal. He denied the allegations and fought a successful libel case. On this day last year, Taylor Swift's Eras Tour had catapulted her to billionaire status, according to a report from Bloomberg, making her one of the few recording artists to build a 10-figure fortune almost entirely from her music. October 27, 1971, The Republic of Congo changed its name to the Republic of Zaire. On this day last year, Hurricane Otis wreaked havoc after hitting Mexico and becoming the first Eastern Pacific hurricane to continue with Category 5 intensity once making landfall. And that was This Week in History, read by me, Ian McKenna. Taste of High School Life, report by Kevin McRoberts. More than 150 pupils from 7 Eastern Bartonshire schools recently had an insight into what they can expect at secondary school if they are interested in science, technology, engineering and mathematics, STEM. The P7 students from Craighead, Hairstainshill, Lennoxtown, Oxgang and Twicker primaries and Woodland View School attended the Kirkintilloch STEM Festival in the Town Hall, arranged by the Council's Primary Science Development Officer and the Developing the Young Workforce, Lanarkshire and Eastern Bartonshire, DYW LED. Around 20 industry partners attended and provided the young people with a range of hands-on activities and lots of information. There was a straw model building, explosive experiments, computer games, fingerprint forensics, and more to demonstrate these subjects play a huge role in our daily lives, can be fun and provide job opportunities for the future. Each partner delivered a short interactive workshop with explicit links to STEM that listeners might not have thought about before. Councillor Linda Williamson, convener of Eastern Bartonshire's Education Committee, said, "I'm delighted so many pupils got the chance to explore the myriad opportunities offered by the STEM subjects. This was an excellent way to build on the STEM learning already taking place in our schools. It showed how these subjects apply to real-life situations, and I'm sure will have sparked an interest in some students who have never considered the importance and opportunities offered by STEM before. It's an outstanding addition to the transition year for these P7s. Jackie Gillespie, head teacher at Hairstains Primary, added, "Our primary 7 pupils had a phenomenal time at the Kirkintilloch STEM Festival. The children were inspired from start to finish. What a fantastic day." Rebecca McMillan, DYW LED team leader, said, "It was fantastic to see so many pupils excited to participate in the amazing hands-on workshops. Giving them the opportunity to explore the wonders of science, technology, engineering and maths opens up a world of future career possibilities." And that report was by Kevin McRoberts.
Nearly all households can access superfast broadband. This article is unattributed. Virtually all households in Eastern Bartonshire now have access to superfast broadband. As of September 2024, more than 99% of properties in the area have access to superfast broadband, up by 21.5% since 2014. Rona Mackay, MSP for Strathkelvin and Bearsden, has welcomed new figures from the Scottish Parliament's Information Centre. The SNP MSP said she was determined to ensure that everyone in Eastern Bartonshire had the digital connectivity they needed, and the Scottish Government had significantly invested in programmes to make this happen. Rona added, "It is absolutely fantastic to see access to superfast broadband has dramatically risen over the past decade. This makes a real and important difference to people's lives. Going from 77% in 2014 to 99% now shows the benefit that long-term investment in our community infrastructure is having." One of the SNP government's 4 priorities is to boost growth across Scotland, and it is through the funding of vital infrastructure projects that we can help our economy flourish. Across Scotland, 95% of households have access to superfast broadband, an increase of 45% in the past decade. From 2025, all new builds in Scotland must have access to superfast broadband. That article is unattributed and it was read by Jahan.
Don't Ignore Cancer Signs, written by Don Renton. People across Eastern Bartonshire are being urged to be the early bird as part of the Scottish Government's awareness-raising campaign to empower people with possible cancer symptoms to contact their GP practice. In research conducted by the Scottish Government, more than 4 in 5 people, 83%, said they would report an item missing from a delivery order within a day, but nearly a third, 32%, of people said they would wait days, weeks, and even months to contact their GP practice about any unusual, persistent symptoms. The research, which surveyed over 2,000 people in Scotland, also showed that 87% of people said they would respond to an urgent text from a friend within an hour, as opposed to more than 2 in 5, 42%, who would take days, weeks, or even months to contact their GP practice as soon as they experienced a persistent hoarse voice. Another finding showed that nearly 9 out of 10 people, 86%, would contact their GP practice within 2 days if their child or a child in their care was ill. However, if they had a persistent cough that had lasted more than 3 weeks, just over 1 in 5, 21%, said they'd wait at least another week to get in touch with their GP practice. The Scottish Government wants to tackle these issues with its Be the Early Bird campaign, which aims to reinforce the benefits of finding cancer at an earlier stage when there's more treatment options available, a greater likelihood of surviving well after treatment, and better news to tell the family. Radio presenter Des Clark, who is supporting the campaign, said, "The Scottish Government's Be the Early Bird campaign is so important as cancer is something that affects many of us in some way. This research proves what we all know to be true anecdotally, with many people placing greater importance on other things and allowing their health to slip down the priority list. I encourage everyone to make sure they contact their GP practice if they notice any persistent symptoms or issues that are out of the ordinary. Your GP practice wants to know." Ross McDuff, Joint National Clinical Lead for Earlier Cancer Diagnosis at the National Centre for Sustainable Delivery, CFSD, said, "Finding cancer in its earliest stages is really key to maximising treatment options. That's why it's so important that anyone who's experiencing persistent symptoms that are unusual for them contacts their GP practice so they can be assessed as soon as possible and referred, if appropriate, to the correct specialist. Whether it is you that has possible symptoms, a family member or friend, please don't put off making an appointment with your GP practice. If cancer is confirmed earlier, a much wider range of treatment options can be available, and the body can respond better to treatment." Health Secretary Neil Gray said, "Early detection is crucial in cancer care, so I urge everyone to prioritise their health and make sure they contact their GP practice about any unusual persistent symptoms. The sooner we act, the better the chances for treatment and recovery. So let's be vigilant. If something doesn't feel right, don't wait. Get checked early." For more information on how to be an early bird and to use the symptom checker, visit getcheckedearly.org. Written by Don Renton, read by Alan Todd.
Invitation to go back to church is recorded by Hunter MacDonald. On Sunday, October the 27th, the day when we put the clocks back, the Kirkintilloch Church is inviting its members to do the same. St David's Memorial Park Church in Alexandra Street is encouraging members who have not attended for a while to turn the clock back and make that day their Back to Church Sunday. The session clerk, David Forsyth, said, "We all know how easy it is to get out of a habit, and we're aware that since around lockdown and COVID-19, a few folk who used to worship as part of our fellowship haven't been with us. With this in mind, we are planning a Back to Church Sunday to welcome back anyone who has not been around for some time." Reverend Derek Peat added, "Whilst the invitation to come back to church is primarily for members of the congregation, a welcome is there for anyone in the area who has questions about life and wants to journey with the church as they think about these matters. We worship Jesus as Lord and Saviour, and there is always a place for those who are seeking as we learn more of God's love for us. Of course, while St David's Memorial Park Church is dedicating October the 27th as its Back to Church Sunday, anyone who can't make it on that day is obviously welcome to join the congregation by attending any other Sunday. Sunday services begin at 10:30 a.m.
£10 million shared with good causes. Good causes in Bishopbriggs and the surrounding area are among thousands to have benefited from a charitable foundation that is donating more than £10 million to charities across the country. Yorkshire Building Society and Charitable Foundation made its first donation in 1999. Now 25 years later, thanks to the ongoing generosity of customers, it has donated over £10 million to local charities where colleagues and members live and work. Charities are nominated for donations by colleagues and members of Yorkshire Building Society, including those in Bishopbriggs. More than £20,501 has been shared by 16 charities in the Bishopbriggs area since 2020. Recently, East Bartonshire Access Panel and Kindness Street Team have received donations after being nominated by colleagues and customers. Evelyn Kenny, Bishopbriggs branch manager, said, "I am delighted that the Charitable Foundation has supported so many charities and good causes in our community. The donations have made a huge difference to people locally, and thanks to the ongoing generosity of our members, that the Charitable Foundation can continue to support so many causes. We're so proud to have helped to play a part in donating over £10 million to charities and good causes across the UK. It shows small change really can make a big difference. Yorkshire Building Society Charitable Foundation is funded through the Small Change, Big Difference scheme, where members donate the pennies from the interest in their accounts. Find out more at www.ybs.co.uk/charitable foundation.
Man suffers slash wounds in assault. A man suffered serious injuries after being assaulted at a fast food restaurant car park off Crosshill Road in Bishopbriggs last Wednesday, October the 16th, just after 6 p.m. The 39-year-old man was approached by 3 men and suffered slash wounds in the incident. He was taken to hospital for treatment. His injuries are described as being serious but not life-threatening. Detective Inspector Kenny MacDonald said, "Officers were following a positive line of inquiry. Anyone with information or possible dashcam footage is asked to call 101, quoting reference 2738 of the 16th of October 2024.
Don't leave it too late to apply. This article is unattributed. Businesses and community groups in East Bartonshire aiming to apply for occasional licences or extended hours for licensed premises for Christmas are being urged not to leave it too late. The last licensing board of 2024 is scheduled for November 27. Applications for occasional licences or extended hours for licensed premises should be made by October 31st at the latest. For more information and details of how to apply, go to www.eastonbarton.gov.uk/business/licensing-permits/occasional license. That article is unattributed.
Leisuredrome Flume back in action after temporary closure. The Flume at Bishopbriggs Leisuredrome swimming pool had to be closed temporarily at the beginning of last week due to a safety issue. The Flume had been due to be in operation throughout the school holiday, but a problem with the exit platform meant it was closed for a couple of days before reopening last Wednesday. East Bartonshire Leisure and Cultural Trust apologised for the inconvenience. The Flume usually operates on Saturdays, 12 to 2:45 p.m.
Firefighters rescue man from canal. A man was taken to hospital after being rescued from the Forth and Clyde Canal near Kirkintilloch's Hillhead Road last Monday morning, October the 14th. Emergency services were called out after reports of a person in the water. A spokesperson for the Scottish Fire and Rescue Service said, Operations Control mobilised 2 fire appliances and specialist resources. Firefighters assisted a person in difficulty and placed them into the care of the Scottish Ambulance Service, SAS. A spokesperson for the SAS confirmed a patient was taken by ambulance to Glasgow Royal Infirmary.
Rents rise faster than incomes, a report by Sonia Tutty. Rents in East Dunbartonshire rose by 6% in the past year, and campaigning group Generation Rent said renters are being exploited by an out-of-control market and a lack of protection. Provisional figures from the Office for National Statistics show the average private rent in the East Dunbartonshire broad rental market area reached £1,077 per month in the year to September, up 6% from £1,017 a year prior. It was also up 31% from an estimated £820 a month 5 years ago. Scotland's rent data is collected by Rent Service Scotland and is predominantly for advertised new lets, with only a small proportion based on existing tenancies. Therefore, price changes for existing tenancies are largely estimated. Across Scotland, the average rent was £973, rising 7% from the year before. Lothian had the highest rental cost in the country at £1,376 per month, while the lowest was in Dumfries and Galloway at £484. Sarah Coles, head of personal finance at Hargreaves Lansdowne, said budget threats were driving up rents. She added, given the continued exodus of landlords, renters face the double misery of fighting over the scraps and then paying a fortune for them. Dan Wilson-Craw, Deputy Chief Executive of Generation Rent, said, our biggest monthly expense is going up far faster than inflation or our wages. He added, renters are being exploited by an out-of-control market and the lack of protections that low, unscrupulous landlords to maximise the rent at every opportunity. As a result, renters are unable to save for the future, and many are still making painful decisions about whether to turn the heating on or off or skip a meal. The figures also show different costs for various homes in East Dunbartonshire, from £661 for a one-bedroom property to £2,057 for a home with 4 or more bedrooms in September. Among the property types in the area, a detached house will likely cost £1,899 to rent per month, a semi-detached £1,224 per month, a terraced house £945 per month, and a flat or maisonette £780 a month. That report was by Sonia Tutty.
House prices keep going up. House prices increased by 2.2%, more than the average for Scotland and East Dunbartonshire in August. The rise contributes to the longer-term trend, which has seen property prices in area grow by 2.9% over the last year. The average East Dunbartonshire house price in August was £271,024. Registers of Scotland figures show a 2.2% increase on July. Over the month, the picture was different to that across Scotland, where prices increased by just 1.2%, and Eastern Bartonshire was above the 1.5% rise for the UK as a whole. Over the last year, the average sale price of property in Eastern Bartonshire has risen by £7,600, putting the area 25th among Scotland's 32 local authorities with price data for annual growth. The highest annual growth in Scotland was in the Shetland Islands, where property prices increased on average by 23.9% to £222,000. At the other end of the scale, properties in Nahain Alin Shiar lost 6.8% of their value, giving an average price of £144,000. First-time buyers in Eastern Bartonshire spent an average of £200,000 on their property, £4,100 more than a year ago, and £38,100 more than in August 2019. By comparison, former owner-occupiers paid £323,300 on average in August, 61.7% more than first-time buyers. Owners of detached houses saw the biggest rise in property prices in Eastern Bartonshire in August. They increased 2.6% to £483,414 on average.
A hub of support. Mental health on right path. Report by Julie Curry. A partnership between NHS 24, Police Scotland and the Scottish Ambulance Service, SAS, is streamlining how patients receive mental health support in Scotland. The mental health pathway is a collaboration between the three services which ensures that people seeking urgent mental health support are directed to the most appropriate service for their needs. The NHS 24 Mental Health Hub is available 24/7 by calling 111 and selecting the mental health option. The pathway ensures patients contacting 999 with non-emergency mental health concerns are now routinely referred to the Mental Health Hub. Dr. Ron Cook, NHS 24 Medical Director, said, "It is imperative that anyone in mental health crisis or distress can quickly and easily connect with professionals who are experts in that field. Within office hours, patients seeking help with their mental health should contact their own GP. However, during the out-of-hours period, such as evenings and weekends, it is common for patients to be unsure of where to access mental health support. Many will often reach out for help by dialling 999, which may not be the most appropriate care route for them. The mental health pathway was set up to streamline the process for anyone needing urgent assistance with their mental health and aims to make all callers feel supported, understood and cared for. It has led to a better experience for individuals experiencing mental illness or distress, but has the added impact of reducing the deployment of frontline services in non-emergencies and easing demand on the emergency services. The collaboration not only benefits patients, but also allows police and ambulance staff to focus on their core roles. Police Scotland data shows officer hours were able to be redirected to core policing, and 99% of their staff confirmed they felt confident making referrals. Chief Superintendent Matt Payden, who leads Police Scotland's Mental Health Task Force, said, "We support NHS 24's message that those seeking help for mental health distress should contact their own GP during office hours and call 111 out of hours. Where people call 999 with non-emergency mental health concerns, we've worked with health colleagues to give police staff the training, confidence and ability to refer them to the NHS's Mental Health Hub to get the care and support they need from those who are best able to provide it." Delivering better outcomes for people in mental health crisis while achieving whole system efficiencies is a key element of delivering on policing's vision for safer communities, less crime, supported victims and a thriving workforce. The mental health pathway can provide better outcomes for individuals and communities, better value to the public, and enable officers to tackle threat, harm and risk and prevent crime. And the article was written by Julie Curry. Support every day. The Scottish Ambulance Service supports people in mental health crisis and distress 24 hours a day, 365 days of the year. Catherine Totten, SES Mental Health and Dementia Head of Service, said, "We are committed to improving the outcomes and experience for these service users. The mental health pathway allows us to directly transfer non-emergency callers to mental health trained clinicians in the NHS 24 Mental Health Hub, ensuring those in crisis receive the right care at the right time. It's a welcome addition to existing services, such as the mental health paramedic response units in Glasgow, Dundee and Inverness."
MSP celebrates our area's best small businesses. An article by Kevin McRoberts. West of Scotland MSP Pam Gosel has announced her Small Business Awards will return for the second year running. The competition, which received hundreds of nominations last year, celebrates the best small businesses in East and West Dunbartonshire. The Scottish Conservative MSP, who is also Shadow Minister for Investment and Employment, is running the awards to celebrate the best loved companies who are crucial to local communities. The competition will run in the build-up to Christmas with the aim of encouraging more people to buy locally during the festive season and marks Small Business Saturday, which Pam supports every year. She urged people to come forward and provide their own suggestions to crown the best small businesses across the area. All the details are on Pam's website at www.pamgosal.uk/small-business-awards-2024. The public are invited to submit nominations and share the competition on social media so others can also take part. Nominations close on November 15 and the winners will be announced on Small Business Saturday, which falls on December 7 this year. Pam said, "There are so many brilliant small businesses operating all over East and West Dunbartonshire, who are a key part of our local communities. We are very lucky to have so many great local shops, services, cafes, and enterprises of all kinds. My Small Business Awards will celebrate the fantastic companies doing great work in our local area. This competition is your chance to shine a light on your favourite local business and encourage more people to shop local as we look towards the festive season. Ahead of Small Business Saturday, I'm asking everyone to nominate their favourite local business so we can highlight the best loved traders across East and West Dunbartonshire. Nominating a business for these awards is easy. The form on my website can be completed quickly in no time at all. The competition will close in mid-November, so please come forward now and tell us which of our small businesses you think deserve to be recognised and celebrated." That report was by Kevin McRoberts.
Show Home is open. Avant Home Scotland has opened a new 4-bedroom townhouse show home at its 167-home Darragh Fields development in Rob Royston. Located off Daffodil Place, the £57 million development comprises a mix of 3, 4 and 5-bedroom homes and features 12 house types. Avant Home Scotland Sales Director Lisa Archibald said, "Our Darragh Fields development has been extremely popular and we're excited to have opened the new Melrose show home to give prospective buyers the chance to see what we have on offer. As a business, we aim to provide quality new homes for everyone and foster thriving communities wherever we build. Darragh Fields is a great example of this commitment and has already become a vibrant part of the Rob Royston community."
MPs call for action on health and care. Written by Kevin McRoberts. Mid Dunbartonshire MP Susan Murray was incredibly proud to vote in favour of Liberal Democrats' motions to rescue community healthcare and end the carers' repayment scandal, despite these being voted down by Labour MPs. On the Liberal Democrats' first opposition day since 2009, Ms Murray voted for the party's motions to fix the dual crises of health and care. Her vote to resolve these issues followed new statistics commissioned by the Lib Dems, which revealed that 1 in 4 people in Britain have been unable to work because they can't get an NHS appointment. The poll indicated that 45% of the population have been unable to book a GP or dentist appointment, highlighting the extent of the strain on the NHS system. The first Liberal Democrat proposal focused on carers' allowance repayments, calling on the government to write off existing overpayments and conduct a full review of support for unpaid carers. The second motion urged ministers to tackle the NHS crisis by improving access to GPs, NHS dentists and community pharmacists. However, Labour MPs voted against the motions. Ms Murray expressed her regret that the bill had faced opposition and pledged her continued dedication to putting health and care top of the parliamentary priority list. She said, "I was incredibly proud to vote in favour of these essential proposals. The state of community healthcare in Mid-Dumbartonshire is dire, and the carers' overpayment scandal is a national disgrace. When I speak to families and pensioners across Mid-Dumbartonshire, I hear time and time again that people can't get an NHS appointment when they so desperately need it. That's why I threw my support behind these measures, voting to rescue our GPs, NHS dentists, community pharmacists and of course our carers. I was disappointed to see that the government opposed these motions. Our health and care services need dignity and capability now more than ever, especially after the squeeze on winter fuel payments that will drive NHS and care demand sky high. I am urging the government to follow the Liberal Democrats' example and make health and social care their top priority." Written by Kevin McRoberts.
Festive positions. Aldi is looking to hire 12 store colleagues in East Dumbartonshire in the lead up to Christmas as the supermarket gears up for the festive season. Aldi is seeking team members to help replenish stock, assist customers and maintain its high standards of service during the festive period and beyond. Roles on offer in its 2 local stores in Mulgai and Rob Royston include deputy manager and store assistant. Starting pay for store assistants remains the best in the industry at £12.40 per hour nationally. Aldi remains the only UK supermarket to offer paid breaks, which is worth more than £900 a year. Kelly Stokes, Aldi UK Recruitment Director, said, "Our colleagues are essential to ensuring Aldi shoppers have a great experience in store. To apply, visit www.aldirecruitment.co.uk.
Family announcements. Deaths. Bissett, Kevin. Peacefully at home on Thursday, October 17th, 2024. A much-loved husband of Wendy, dear son of Alex and the late Gladys, and brother of Scott and the late Gail. Funeral service at Daldowie Crematorium, West Chapel, on Monday, October 28th, 2024, for 9:45 a.m, to which all family and friends are respectfully invited. Carol, James. Peacefully at Glasgow Royal Infirmary on October 10th, 2024. Beloved husband of Catherine, a much-loved father of James, Michael and John, an adored grandfather of Alexander, Joseph and Madeline. Fortified by the rites of the Holy Church, RIP, reception and visual on Tuesday, October 29th, 2024, at Holy Family and St Ninian's Church, Kirkintilloch, for 7:30 p.m. Funeral Mass on Wednesday, October 30th, 2024, for 10 a.m, thereafter to Glasgow Crematorium, Mary Hill,
for 11:30 a.m. In Memoriam. Grant Marlene. In loving memory of Marlene, who passed away October 23rd, 2011. Love and miss you always. Willie, Jackie and Barry. Anniversaries. Bruce and Florence Allen. Congratulations to my Gran and Grandad on their platinum wedding anniversary. Bruce Allen, 95, and Florence Allen, 93, from Bishopbriggs, celebrate 70 years together on the 14th of October, 2024. Love from Amy.
Crossing Tracks to Raise Age Scotland Awareness by Julie Curry. A special ScotRail train featuring Age Scotland branding has been unveiled to mark the first 6 months of the partnership between the charity and Scotland's Railway. Representatives from Age Scotland and Scotland's Railway gathered at Glasgow Queen Street Station for its launch, which included charity volunteers and ScotRail staff who have raised funds for Scotland's national charity for older people. Since Age Scotland was named as the official charity partner in April, ScotRail staff have been engaged in many fundraising activities such as abseiling off the Forth Bridge and ziplining across the Clyde. Throughout the 3-year partnership, the charity will also receive support from Scotland's Railway through awareness-raising activities and promotional information on trains and in stations. ScotRail has also launched a new feature as part of the Delay Repay scheme, giving customers the additional option to donate to Age Scotland. The ScotRail train, featuring the charity partners branding, will go into operation across the rail network, further promoting the organisation as it crosses communities around the country. Age Scotland was chosen by the 7,500 employees across ScotRail and Network Rail Scotland to be their nominated charity partner. David Lister, ScotRail's Safety, Sustainability and Asset Director, said, "Through the generosity of our staff and passengers, we've already raised funds and highlighted Age Scotland's great work in the first 6 months. But there's much more we can and will do over the 3-year partnership. By branding one of our trains with the Age Scotland logo, we can continue to support the aims of the organisation, helping tackle loneliness and to connect and empower older people in Scotland to make the most of later life." Stacey Kitzinger, Age Scotland Associate Director of Fundraising, said, "We are very grateful to staff and passengers who have supported our work over the first 6 months, and we are excited for what more we can achieve. As we move into the winter, many older people will struggle with feelings of loneliness and isolation. By branding a train with our logo, ScotRail is providing a unique way of raising awareness of our work." That article was written by Julie Curry.
As published on Wednesday the 23rd of October 2024, Opinion, Kirkintilloch and Bishopbriggs Herald's letters page, Let's Talk. Please send your letters via email to kirkyherald@jnscotland.co.uk. That's KIRKYHERALD @GNSCOTLAND.co.uk and write letters in the subject field. Please keep letters to a maximum of 300 words. Letters cannot be published without a name and postal address. Also include a daytime phone number if possible. We reserve the right to edit any letter. Our finest politician. Sir, I am so sad, as I'm sure many others are too, at the death of Alex Salmond, Scotland's former First Minister. Scotland has lost its finest ever politician, debater and indeed a true patriot. Alex had Scotland's welfare at the heart of every policy. He loved our bonny wee country and worked relentlessly for its freedom from Westminster's oppression, but alas, sadly, he won't now see our country gain its independence. Rest in peace, Alex, and rest assured our fight to the end colonialism will be fought in your memory until we achieve it. Yours, etc., Miss A. Smart. Address supplied. Engineers Week. Sir, as a fast-growing sector with great prospects and significantly above average pay, young people unsure of what career path to take should take a good look at engineering and technology. The opportunities are likely more wide-ranging and attractive than they'd imagine. Tomorrow's Engineers Week, November 11th to 15th, is a community-wide campaign running every year since 2013, showcasing modern engineering and technology careers to young people, their teachers, parents, and other influences. Run by STEM charity, that's STEM, STEM, Science, Technology, Engineering, Mathematics. Run by STEM charity Engineering UK, its success lies in the support it garners from professional engineering institutions, employers, educators, government departments, practitioners and thousands of individuals, all seeking to attract more young people from all backgrounds into the sector. Engineering and technology employs 6.3 million people across the UK, with faster growth predicted up until at least 2030 compared with other occupations, and these people are working to improve all our lives, for example, through better medical technologies, renewing our national infrastructure, and addressing climate change. Vocational routes such as T-levels and apprenticeships offer fantastic pathways in, alongside university studies. This year's Tomorrow's Engineers Week will help more young people better understand the breadth of opportunities available. A toolkit for schools and local employers offers great free resources from lesson plans to short videos, plus the chance to chat to a panel of early career professionals working in engineering and tech. Unfortunately, most young people don't have a good understanding of the amazing opportunities available to them in engineering and technology, so whether you're an engineer, a STEM expert, an educator, a mum, dad or carer, please help them to find out more. Yours, etc., Dr. Hilary Levers, Chief Executive of Engineering UK. Good example. Sir, the late Alex Salmond left office as First Minister of Scotland after 7 years in 2014 because a majority of the electorate did not vote for Scottish independence in the referendum he called. Alex will be remembered not only as a pragmatic political economist, but as a warm and generous person. On resigning, he arranged for the gifts presented to him when in office to be auctioned for charity, and there are many who now treasure the mementos, books and other artefacts successfully bid for at this auction. Perhaps the present government and holders of political office would do well to reflect on Alex Salmond's example in respect of gifts given to them in their representative roles. Yours, etc., Elizabeth Marshall, by email. Fuel for thought, Sir. I have been reading and listening to a number of discussions around the issue of assisted dying, with some advocating the need for a more in-depth analysis and study of its effects. Strangely, I thought the government had already started such a study with the cancellation of pensioners' winter fuel payment. Yours, etc., Paul Lewis, by email. Zero credibility, Sir. The Greens are now pushing for a huge say in the upcoming SNP budget as the price for their support. Given that the Greens have demonstrably little public support at the ballot box, just how can the SNP accept their demands? Our current Scottish Government is not terribly popular after nearly 18 years of missed opportunities and failed policies. The message is therefore clear that the public are not particularly on side. Given this situation, surely the SNP must rebuff the Greens' budgetary help if it wants to maintain even a semblance of credibility. Yours, etc., Gerald Edwards, by email. And that was Wednesday the 23rd of October's Let's Talk letters page.
Take a Break for Pollinators, written by Julie Curry. Nature Scott is urging gardeners to take a break this autumn and leave their gardens alone to help struggling pollinators over the winter. Taking a rest from gardening over autumn and winter is probably even more beneficial for bees and other pollinators than planting pollinator-friendly flowers for spring and summer. Sarah Smythe, Nature Scott Biodiversity Advisor, said, "This is a double win. It's good news for gardeners, allowing you to swap your winter secateurs and spade for a cup of tea and a seed catalogue, while you're also helping pollinators and doing your bit for nature. The most important thing you can do to help pollinators is increase the safe places where they can survive over the winter, and that means leaving your garden a bit messy. With dropping temperatures and a lack of food, pollinators use various strategies to survive. It helps pollinators if you leave areas of stones, branches and twigs of different sizes piled up with leaves and soil for a bit of insulation. This may also provide shelter for hungry toads, which will be welcome when the new plants and slugs start to get moving in spring. Use leaves as a mulch instead of tidying them away, providing safe spaces for pollinators under the leaves. An upright trunk can provide somewhere for pollinators to burrow into and shelter in dry cavities. Leave a patch of long grass, an awkward patch out of sight is perfect for pollinators' winter quarters. Many woody perennials can be left until spring, and even annuals will provide shelter, helping preserve nutrients in the soil as well as sheltering pollinators. Bug hotels have become very popular in recent years, but Sarah doesn't recommend them. She added, "Natural shelter spaces are usually much more effective, as bug hotels mimic the natural shelter spaces for insects but need to be maintained to make sure they're not providing a hub for predators and disease. It's far better just to leave a range of long woody stems." Visit the Nature Scott website for more tips. Written by Julie Curry.
£200,000 for DEC Middle East appeal. The DEC Scotland Middle East Humanitarian Appeal has been given an early boost with £200,000 from Scottish Government. The urgent fundraising effort here has been backed by all 5 main political parties in Scotland, underlining the importance of humanitarian principles of the DEC coalition and their local partners in delivering aid to those most in need across the region. Millions of people in Gaza, Lebanon, and the wider region are in urgent need of food, shelter and medical care. First Minister John Swinney said, "Urgent humanitarian aid must be provided to all those who need it, and this contribution from the Scottish Government will assist the Disasters Emergency Committee, CAF, and the Mercy Corps in ensuring that it reaches as many people as possible." Donations can be made at www.dec.org.uk or by calling 0330 123 0333. Text HOPE to 70676, that's HOPE all uppercase, to donate £10. And the article was unattributed.
Good day to you. It's Philip here from Q and Review, reading the church news and the Kirkintilloch Herald under the district news. And first of all, we go to Lenzie Union Parish Church. Sunday worship on October the 27th is at 11 a.m. with a youth service with the Boys Brigade and Girls Brigade parade. The service will be led by the Reverend Donald MacLeod. Art for Seniors is on Monday, October the 28th at 1:30 in the new hall. Enjoy creating a piece of art under the step-by-step guidance of artist Bev McCluskey. No experience needed. Contact Margaret on 0779 216 8826 to book your place. And I can recommend that. It's a good church, and Margaret's a great woman who serves in that church there in Lenzie Union. And the meeting place is open, yes, for tea and coffee and home baking on Wednesdays between 10 and 12 noon in the new hall. Everyone from the very young to the young at heart is welcome to attend. We also have a good selection of greeting cards and second-hand books for sale. The Lenzie Union Bridge Club is on Wednesdays in the Old Hall, 1:30 to, not 1:30, it's 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. I should get myself new glasses. Come and play this classic game. Stay curious. Try Alpha, explore the Christian faith together. Each session explores a big question of life, faith and purpose, starting in October, Wednesday afternoons from 1:30 p.m. in the new hall. All are welcome. There's a video presentation, light refreshments and discussion. Contact Claire Robertson at alpha.lindsay@gmail.com or on 07789 425 547 for more details. And I can highly recommend the Alpha course. If you've not done one before, then I would go along. I'd done one many years ago, and it's always interesting. You get some good chat there as well, and I think you get a wee bite to eat. And the coffee pot, that's another morning tea thing, set to call it the coffee pot. It opens on Wednesdays for tea, coffee, home baking, a warm, friendly atmosphere for all ages. And the Kirkintilloch Male Voice Choir concert is on Saturday, October the 26th at 7:30 p.m. Tickets are £8 each, or two for $15. Includes a light supper supporting Crossreach. That's Church of Scotland centre for, or various centres for people with addiction issues or mental health issues, problems, or street people as well. So support that great work. And Lindsay Union tickets are available from the LUPC meeting place and coffee pot. So if they're for a wee cuppa or a wee bite to eat, then ask for a ticket to the concert. I'm sure it'll be good. And then we move to Bishopbriggs and the Kirkintilloch Church of God at Regent Hall, Regent Street on Sunday. There will be a short Bible message at 11:30 a.m. The speaker will be Michael Johnson. Warm welcome extended to all on Wednesday. Coffee Corner is open from 12 noon till 2 p.m. for home baking and coffee. Join our friends and neighbours for a coffee and chat. Everyone is welcome. For up-to-date and further information on our services, visit their website, all the W's, regenthall.org. I quite like that one. It's fairly straightforward and easy to remember. www.regenthall.org. And their Bible quote for this week's, the Bible says, "For the wages of sin is death, but the gift of God is eternal life in Christ Jesus our Lord." And that can be found in Romans 6, verse 23. And it's a good one to know and remember and to believe. Now to Home Church. Home Church is in Lammermuir Road, Kirkintilloch. They also have a church in the East End in Carnmile, and online church service as well for all ages. "For I, the Lord your God, will hold your right hand, saying to you, Fear not, I will help you." And that's found in Isaiah 41. On Sunday, October the 27th, there's two services, one at 9:30 a.m. and one at 11:30 a.m. And both of them are the same, so you don't have to go to both, you just go to one, whatever time you get up at this Sunday morning. And there'll be refreshments and a warm welcome awaits you at either service, which will be identical. Sunday school and crest available at both services. And also in the Home Church in Carnmile, the worship services are 10 a.m. as well. And there is home radio, which is available every day. And if you tune in to Home Radio Scotland, you can get it on 100.8 FM or download the Home Radio app. And you'll hear my dulcet tones on a Monday evening. Then Tuesday, they have the Engine Room, which is a name for a group who meet, or individuals who meet together at 9:30 about biblical teaching. And this can also be found online on Tuesday, 2:30 to 4 p.m. Bible study on Judges on Zoom. Wednesdays, the Boiler Room for prayer and Bible study and online. The War Room, last Wednesday of the month. Interesting names they have for their meetings, which is a kind of modern thing, I suppose. On Thursday, it's plain and simple. It's football. Friday, craft and coffee, 10 a.m. to 12 noon. Friday, Youth Fellowship meets at 7:30 p.m. See their Facebook, Instagram and Home Church website for the latest information for Carnmile and Kirkintilloch churches. Now to Bishopbriggs, Kenmure Parish Church. On Sunday morning, worship begins at 11 a.m. and this week will be led by Fiona McCormack. Visitors to the area will be made most welcome when they join us for our Sunday morning worship. You can attend either in person or online on our YouTube channel. The service is on YouTube and can be watched live as it is streamed or later at a time that suits you, which is quite good. If you're doing one thing on a Sunday morning, then you can watch it later on that day or another day of that week. So simply search Kenmure Bishopbriggs on YouTube. There will be a period of fellowship following the service in the hall when teas, coffees, juice and biscuits are served. That's one of the things about going to church. You're all going to get a cup of tea and a biscuit, or a cake if you're lucky. And the most up-to-date details of all their groups, that are currently running may be found on the WhatsApp section of our website, kenmure-church.co.uk. To find us on Facebook, just search for Kenmure Parish Church. If you'd like to join our church WhatsApp group or receive Bible studies, then email kenmurechurch@icloud.com. These things, 20 years ago, there was no such thing as .coms or the website. If you want to know anything about what happens in church, you need to go along. So it's great that we have this newspaper, the Kirkintilloch Herald, where you can read it or hear it from my lips. Yes, my lips, because I speak through my lips. Anyway, enough of the hilarity. Back to church news. St James Church, Hilton Road, Bishopbriggs. The minister there, or rector as they call him, is Paul Watson, and there is a communion service in the chapel on Thursday, October the 24th at 11 a.m. and at 9 a.m. on a Sunday, October the 27th that is. The 10:30 a.m. communion service will be, including hymns, is in the church and on Zoom. Everyone is welcome to come along to any of these services. Do stay on for, yes, you guessed it, tea and coffee and fellowship afterwards. And then on a Sunday, 27th of October, 7 to 8 p.m, journey event. Steve Parrott explores some Ignatian insights. Not 100% sure what that is, but if you go along, you'll find out. There are also other virtual services and groups. For up-to-date information, refer to their social media, Facebook St James LS Bishopbriggs, the website www.stjamesbishopbriggs.org.uk. And then back to Lenzie Old Parish Church this time. Sunday worship begins in the church at 11 a.m. A crest is available for children under 3. The Quilt and Craft Group meet every Wednesday from 10 till 12 noon in the session room. Keen on sewing, knitting, crocheting, or just a beginner, all are welcome. And the Thursday Club is on, yes, you guessed it, on Thursday, October the 24th, between 2 and 4 p.m. in the church hall. Teas, coffees, games, knit and chat. Continue to page 19. Sorry, I just thought I'd put that in. Yes, you've guessed it. The Scottish country dancing every Thursday evening, 7:30 to 9:30 p.m. Enjoy fun, fitness. No need to book, just come along. And then there's Come and Sing. The dementia-friendly singing group is on Tuesday, October the 28th at 1:15 p.m. to 2:45 p.m. A warm welcome waits all. And of course a cuppa with some delicious home baking. Yes, you can't beat it, the home baking. And then there's St Mary's Parish Church. The service on Sunday, October the 27th will begin at 11 a.m. as usual and be taken by the Reverend Dr. Ruth Morrison. There will be age-appropriate activities in the church halls for our young people. And that's varied young people from young to young and to not so young. Yes, on Wednesdays, there's a welcome continues on Wednesday, October the 23rd, tea, coffee and home baking, as well as a warm welcome and fellowship. They will be available from 10 a.m. until 11:30 a.m. At 11:30 a.m. there will be a short service taken by Ruth Morrison. The craft group that is, meet as usual at 2 p.m. on Monday, October the 28th. On Wednesday, November the 6th, the church will be open as part of our monthly Open Doors programme. The church will be open from 10:30 a.m. till 3:30 p.m. Tea, coffee will be available all day from 12:30 p.m. There will be an organ recital by our church organist, Mr. David Burns, on Saturday, November the 9th. The annual craft fair will take place in St Mary's Halls, open at 10 a.m. until 4 p.m. There will be a number of stalls selling a variety of goods, many very suitable for Christmas. There will be a cafe running all day providing tea and coffee, and from 11 a.m. till 2 p.m. Soup, rolls and bacon will also be available. Morning worship on Sunday, October the 27th, will be conducted at Springfield Cambridge Church, that is, will be conducted by Gordon Mackenzie in the sanctuary at 11 a.m. An offering will be taken during the service. Please place your offering in the offering plate as it's passed around. Tea and coffee will be served in the Cameron Hall after morning worship. Come and enjoy the fellowship. The Sunday school meets in room 2, where Crest facilities are also available. Morning worship is also being live streamed on the Springfield Cambridge Church YouTube channel. A link to this can be found on the website, that is springfieldcambridge.org.uk, and Facebook page, where up-to-date information about events and church organisations can also be found. There will be a vestry on Wednesday, October the 23rd at 10 a.m. For anyone who would like to speak with the Minister, there will be a short weekly service as well around about that time of worship in the Springfield Chapel on Wednesday, October the 23rd from 11:10 till 11:30, followed by tea and coffee in the Hall of Fellowship. Tickets for the line dancing event on Saturday, November the 16th at 7:30 p.m. will be on sale from today for the next 3 Sundays, priced £10 in the Hall of Fellowship, and that'll be on November. Yes, and then Lodging House Mission Christmas cards will be available every Sunday from October the 27th in the Hall of Fellowship. We'll also be happy to accept monetary donations, which will help offset the cost of meals which the Lodging House Mission provides on a daily basis to homeless people. The Guild is inviting the congregation to join them supporting the Eastern Bartonshire Food Bank warehouse by bringing donations and leaving them in the cupboard, and there'll be a list attached to the cupboard door with specific items that they need. And then, of course, there's a ticket office for Springfield Cambridge Festival Chorus. Christmas concert is open at Cadder South Hall on Wednesdays and Fridays between 10 a.m. and 12 noon. The annual dedication service for the Boys Brigade and Girls Brigade will be on Sunday, November the 3rd at 11 a.m. So there you have it. That's the church news for this week from the Kirkintilloch Herald. Hopefully I didn't read them too quickly, or maybe not slow enough for you. If you have any comments you want to make to Q and Review, then please drop us a line or give us a phone call. And if any comments about my presentation, you want me to be more downbeat, more upbeat, you want me to mention other things, church news that maybe you know of or hear about, I'd love to record it for you here on the Q and Review site. So thank you for tuning in. Thank you for listening to my dulcet tones. My name's Philip, and just glad to work with you and be alongside you. Thank you for your company over the last 13 or 14 minutes. God bless you.
Wednesday the 23rd of October, District News General. Send your emails to kirkyherald@jnscotland.co.uk. Abbey Cafe. Abbey Cafe is a peer support group for people living in Eastern Bartonshire affected by acquired brain injury, ABI, and their carers, family and friends. It is the only brain injury support group of its kind in the area. Although Seritas staff and volunteers support Abbey Cafe, it is a peer-led group that really thrives on the input of its members and the lived experiences they share. The group meets the first Wednesday of the month in Seritas office, McGregor House, from 1:30 p.m. to 3 p.m. Please contact Seritas if you would like to know more. 0141 775 0433 or info@seritas.org.uk. That's info@CERTAS.org.uk. Walk and Roll. Walk and Roll is a monthly walking group for everyone, including wheelchair users and people with mobility issues. It follows a number of routes, all of which have been risk assessed for wheelchair users, mobility aid users, and people with sensory impairments and mobility issues. Upon return, there is a cup of tea or coffee waiting and a chance for a blether. During the winter months, the walk is adapted to indoor strength and balance exercises so that we can continue to socialise and stay active. We meet at Seritas office, McGregor House, on the third Wednesday of every month at 1 p.m. to 2:30 p.m. It is a great opportunity to get outdoors and meet new people from the area. Please contact Seritas if you would like to know more. 0141 775 0433 or info@CERTAS.org.uk. St Columba's Men's Club. If winter comes, can spring be far behind? So asked John Keats in his Ode to Autumn. Well, winter certainly is well on the way, after a truly miserable summer. However, to ease the way towards the joys, maybe of spring as envisaged by Keats, the men's club may be an answer. At 7:30 p.m. every Monday, St Columba's Men's Club meets in the Church Hall in Old Ell Road, Kirkintilloch, and offers a very warm welcome together with the chance to play a bit of pool or snooker, dominoes, or even some table tennis for the more sprightly amongst us. If none of these appeal, how about a cup of coffee or tea and a chat? Our members come not only from Kirkintilloch, but also from Lenzie, Cumbernauld, Milton of Campsie, and Bearsden. If you think this may be for you and you would like more details, contact either Ian Gibb on 0141 776 5453 or Jim Kennedy on 07767 124 416. Inquisitive Isla needs a home. Beagle Cross Isla is searching for her forever home. She is currently being cared for by the Scottish SPCA in Angus, Fife and Tayside Animal Rescue and Rehoming Centre. True to her adventurous breed, she thrives in the great outdoors and is eager to explore with an active family. Isla appreciates her independence and loves to roam around doing her own thing. She would thrive in a home with older children or adults where she can enjoy her own space to unwind after her adventures. If you're looking for a loving, spirited companion to join you on outdoor escapades, Isla is ready to bring joy and excitement to your life. Education. Fearless campaign to keep teens safe. Pro-social behaviour. Fearless, the Youth Service of Crime Stoppers, has today launched a new campaign to keep teenagers across Scotland safe and encourage them to make positive choices this autumn. Focusing on Halloween and Bonfire Night, the charity is encouraging young people to remember that communities work best when they work together, and that they have an important role to play in that. Designed in partnership with young people at Craigroyston Community High School in Edinburgh, the campaign is running across Snapchat, Instagram and TikTok, all key social media platforms most commonly used by young people. The initiative aims to get young people thinking not just about the impact fireworks misuse and deliberate fire raising has in the communities they live in, but how they can take positive action. This may include attending their local youth centres to do activities, volunteering or donating food or clothes they've outgrown to help others in their area. The charity is urging young people not to feel forced into silence for fear of stigma or reprisal, but to speak up with information about fireworks misuse, deliberate fire raising and other crimes happening in their local area at fearless.org. This dedicated website is for young people to pass on information 100% anonymously. Lindsay McDade, Fearless Scotland manager, said, "The vast majority of young people are absolute assets to their communities. The young people who helped to co-design this campaign are brilliant examples of this. There are, of course, a small number who sometimes make negative choices, and it's important that we're clear about ways that can turn that around to make more positive ones. This includes highlighting the harm that antisocial behaviour brings, such as those involving fireworks and deliberate fires, also included in the campaign. On our website fearless.org, young people can find a positive action section on our autumn page with ideas of pro-social things to do, as well as vital information about trick-or-treating safely and fireworks legislation. They can also use our website to speak up 100% anonymously about who is responsible for fireworks misuse and deliberate fire raising. Festive production of Pinocchio. Cumbernauld Theatre has announced the cast for its festive show Pinocchio, a brand new raucous tale in the story written by Gary McNair. This silly and hugely entertaining journey is brought to life by theatre talent Julia Murray as Pinocchio, Cole Stewart as Geppetta / Fairy Godmother, Stephanie McGrath as Hingwee / salesman / Stromboli / whale, and Caitlin Forbes as Mozart / Honest Sean / 90s guy / passerby / clicky. The production, written by Gary McNair, is led by director Layla Noble, with music by Brian James O'Sullivan and designed by Fraser Lappin. Pinocchio will run at Lantern House from November the 23rd to December the 29th. Book it lanternhousearts.org, Creative Craft Show. The Creative Craft Show and the Scottish Quilting Show are returning to the SEC in Glasgow from Thursday, March the 6th to Saturday, March the 8th, to showcase the work of talented artists and crafters across the country. Celebrating its 10th anniversary, the Scottish Quilting Show is a world-class showcase providing opportunity for artists across the country to share their inspiring work. This year, the Scottish Quilting Show welcomes Voices in Cloth, a programme created by John J. Cole Morgan and embraced by so many quilters in South Africa to not only highlight the amazing quilting talent in South Africa, but also to raise funds for underprivileged people and help teach them to sew. More details at www.thecreativecraftshow.co.uk. And that was this week's District News General.
Target for games. This article was written by Brian Newell and it's being read by me, Corey. Bishopbriggs swimmer Katie Shanahan is hoping to improve on her 2 Commonwealth bronze medals when the Games return to Glasgow in 2026. The University of Stirling hosted a special reception for its swimmers who competed at this summer's Olympic Games in Paris on their return to the campus earlier this month. Students, staff, alumni and members of the public turned out in huge numbers to welcome the athletes back to their training base at Scotland's University for Sporting Excellence. It was a special moment for the group as they received a guard of honour from well-wishers and were presented with a surprise celebratory cake. Children from a local primary school also joined in the fun, meeting all the athletes and having the opportunity to see their medals up close. The youngsters presented the athletes with a framed picture as a memento of their achievements in Paris, and were given goodie bags from University of Stirling Sport. While Shanahan missed out in a medal in Paris, the 20-year-old enjoyed the experience. She told STV, "I think it's just so different when you're there, and in the village, and experiencing it all with a multi-sport event, and everyone there around you. Obviously the swimming was amazing, being in that massive atmosphere with that massive crowd. It just makes me more hungry to work for the next 4 years to make LA and hopefully do a bit better." Shanahan was only 10 the last time the Commonwealth Games were in Glasgow. But a decade on, and with 2 bronze from Birmingham in her swim bag, she's expecting plenty of support in 2 summers' time. The European silver medalist said, "The number of people back home who have said they are going to come and watch and support, that'll be amazing. I could probably sell out the whole stadium with the number of people that would come and support." Coming off the back of the last Commonwealth Games with 2 bronze medals, hopefully I can do better this time. That article was written by Brian Newell and it was read by me, Corey. City thrash United to hit the top. This article was written by Brian Newell and it's being read by me, Corey. Glasgow City moved to the top of the SWPL 1 table with a 13-0 win away to Dundee United on Sunday. Their task against the league's bottom side was made all the simpler when United's keeper, Beth Rennie, was shown red for handling outside the area after just 3 minutes. 4 minutes later, City took the lead as Lisa Evans struck from a free kick to score his first goal since returning to the club. Less than 60 seconds had passed before Brenna Lavera doubled the advantage. Then Natalia Warble struck as City were 3 up after 12 minutes. After that blistering start, they would have to be patient for their next goal. But it duly arrived on 32 minutes when Lavera scrambled in a Chloe Warrington cross. The 5th arrived almost instantly as Ailey Gambone showed good composure after dancing her way into the box. A minute from the break, Emily Whelan tucked home from close range, and there was still time for 7th as Sophia Mata struck in injury time. It was a slow start to the second half before Whelan grabbed her second after 65 minutes, and from there the goals continued to fly in. 3 minutes later, Katie Lockwood scored her first goal in a City shirt from a Lovera pass. Double figures were reached on 69 minutes, with Whelan completing her hat-trick to make it 10-0. There was no let-up, as City went straight back up the park for Lisa Forrest to find the net, and then Nicole Kozlova nodded in from close range. It was Kozlova who rounded off the scoring 5 minutes from time as she headed home at the second attempt. Lavera, who scored her first 2 goals since coming back from injury, told the club's media team, "I think we played really well. We moved the ball well, had lots of passes and little combos. When we look back in the game, I think we can be proud of the product we put out. It was entertaining. Pretty much everyone got on the score sheet and provided an assist. It was just a fun game." City now have a short rest for the international break, but keeper Lee Gibson has been called up for Scotland's Euro playoffs against Hungary this week. That article was written by Brian Yule, and it was read by me, Corey. Plenty of entertainment on show as Rob Roy are held. This article is unattributed, but it's being read by me, Corey. Kirkintilloch Rob Roy drew 2-2 at home to Thornywood United in an action-packed clash in the WOS First Division. The visitors took the lead after 4 minutes through Bobby Barr, but Rob Roy were level just 8 minutes later. Toby Ferry joined on loan from Cumbernauld Colston on Friday, and he made a great start to life at his new club with the equaliser. Apologise, that's how that's written. However, the hosts fell behind again on 23 minutes as they failed to clear their lines and Barr took advantage. United missed a second half penalty to double their lead and were made to pay when Jordan Perry curled a free kick into the top corner on 78 minutes. 4 minutes later, Rob Roy had a golden opportunity to win it, but Jordan Scott saw his penalty saved. The home side then finished the game with 10 men, as Jake Sterling was shown a second yellow card. Caledonian Locomotives won 4-2 at home to St Anthony's in the second division, and Glasgow Perthshire won 2-1 as they hosted Girvan in the third division. West Park United are through to the fourth round of the Scottish Junior Cup with a 3-1 win on penalties at Dundee Violet, following a 0-0 draw. Saturday fixtures. First Division, Petershill versus Kilbirnie Ladeside. Ashfield versus Rutherglen Glencairn. Second Division, Craigmark Bartonians versus Caledonian Locomotives. Third Division, Glasgow Perthshire versus Glenvale. Fourth Division, Rossvale versus Knightswood. Saltcoats Victoria versus West Park United. That article was unattributed, but it was read by me, Corey.
That concludes this week's edition of the Kirkintilloch Herald podcast. Please remember to subscribe to our channels at Tune Review and to tell your friends about our service.